how to find converting visitors that actually buy your products. If you use Facebook like the majority of people as a traffic source, then you maybe know this problem that you have an exciting ad that has a lot of reach, a lot of people who click on it, a high click-through rate. Everything looks great from the ad perspective, but you are really lacking the sales. And this can have a lot of different reasons. For example, your store is not that good, your products are not that good, maybe your price, but also because people who click your ad don't have a real purchase intent in the first place. So they just want to look at it, they just want to browse around, maybe they found your ad interesting and just want to see what's behind there, even though they never meant to purchase anything. And like I mentioned in the 2 or 3 other AdWords videos that I have on this channel, AdWords is the total opposite. Here you can really look for people who are you can attract people who are exactly looking for what you have to offer. And in this video I want to show you how you can identify these people, and in another video I will go more in depth into this as well. So make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you want to learn the whole series. And what you can see here is the result after creating a campaign in the first video about AdWords. So make sure you watch it if you want to see this as well. And now I will just create another ad group and start with this. And here you can type in your landing page, and if you do this you get some keyword suggestions already. So if you have a page in place, I would definitely do this. In this case I just choose my landing page isn't ready, and now I can just type in like any website or enter your product or services. And let's just say we want to sell, for example, shoes. So we go with shoes. And now it gives us a lot of recommendations, actually always 100. In this case, if you want to get more and more in depth, you usually use the keyword planner, which I also opened here. But for this video, let's just go with this little screen and with shoes. And now you can really pick a lot of different variations to get close to what you really have to offer in your store. And let's say you're offering shoes for men. So you would pick, for example, buy shoes and maybe shoes online and shoe shops, men's shoes, casual shoes for men, men's shoes online. So you see we're getting quite broad already, and this is actually something that is maybe not that good if you are putting it all in one ad group. So an ad group basically is a group, like it says already, a group of ads. And what you do is, like it says already here, or it should say here, maybe if I delete everything, yeah, here, to start with 10 to 20 keywords per ad group. And the reason this is that you create ads for different ad groups. So you can have, for example, 2 ads in one ad group, and they will get triggered anytime one of these keywords is typed in by a user. So you would get the user may get the same ad whether you type in buy shoes or casual shoes for men. Now, if the user types in buy shoes and gets an ad that is completely targeted for casual shoes for men, obviously the click-through rate will be much lower than if someone types in casual shoes men and gets an ad that says we have casual shoes for men, because this is almost the same. So it's way more targeted to the search query from the person, and the click-through rate will be much higher and the visitor will be much more relevant to you. So normally if you create a keyword list for an ad group, you keep the different keywords very, very related. So maybe, even though this is just to show you the process, we still stick to this and keep men's shoes, casual shoes for men, men's shoes online. So we just go with all the keywords that are related to shoes and men for this ad group. And yeah, I'm still sick, don't know why. This one here, of course, is very broad, men's shoes, but you get the idea. So we are basically picking keywords that are very close to each other and this makes us able to create ads later on that are sorry, I always do it in one take. So yeah, this allows us to create ads that are way better targeted to the people typing in these keywords. And now, as it says here, and this is actually quite a good tip, 10 to 20 keywords per ad group, let's just get a few more. Men's footwear, shoes, men's. Now these, like I said, these are very broad terms, some of them, but it should be good for now. So you get the idea. We have all this men's shoe stuff. And now what we can do is use match types. Match types mean that we define how the user has to type in these keywords into the search query so that the ads will appear. And if we keep it just like that, it means that all of these ads are broad keywords. So that means men's shoes could also be, the ad could also be triggered if someone types in man footwear something else, or it just has to be very broadly related, or some maybe even things that have nothing really to do with shoes themselves, maybe man running, or maybe socks or something like this. So it just has to be very, very broadly related to it. And this is usually quite a bad idea, because you don't have that much control of what people will really see in the end, or which kind of people will see your ads in the end. So what you can do is you can use the phrase match. So you put them in these, I actually don't know what these are called. Not semicolon. I have actually no idea how these things are called right now. But you put these in, and this means that the ad will only be triggered if the combination of men's and shoes are typed in like this. So people could, for example, search for, how do I find men's shoes? And this ad will be shown because men's shoes are typed in that way. So this is greatly reducing the amount of people that potentially get to see your ad, even though they are completely irrelevant to what you have to offer. So by just adding these, it's a lot more specific already, which is very good. We can do the same for this one, casual shoes for men. So now the user has to type this in along with something else maybe, but this has to be in the search query. And what we can also use is the exact match, and this is when we use these brackets. And this means that the user really has to type in these three words in this order so that the ad will show. So if he types in men's footwear online, it won't show. Or if he types in men's online shoes, or men's footwear online, or men's footwear, it won't show at all. So he has to type in men's shoes online so that the ad will show. This means that we have the most control of who will see our ads, but at the same time we usually get quite few impressions depending on the keywords, because only very, very few people see this ad. So this can be very useful if the keyword is very popular, and you can even with exact match you can still get enough traffic. But if you're working in a niche, it's usually not that good, because many niches don't have that much traffic anyway, and if you then get too specific within a niche, it can be quite hard to get enough traffic to make enough sales. So this is the other match type that you can use. And now a third one that you can use is the modifier. And then we put in shoes and sale. So this means that the user has to type in shoes and sale in the query, but he can also type in other things. So he can type in where can I find shoes that are for sale, or something stupid like this. This gives you more control than a broad match, a little less than a phrase match, because you just define the words that have to appear, but you don't say anything about the order or the context. So you just say that these words need to be in there this way. So if it goes from a control perspective, the first is the exact match, where you really say what the user has to type in. Then the phrase match, where you give the order and the basically a phrase within the search query that user has to enter. Then you have the modifier, where you say these words have to appear. And then you have the broad match, which is basically, like the name says, so broad that the user can use other words, and you don't have to use all the keywords, and it's very, very low amount of control. So now that we have this keyword list, we can type in a bid. Let's say €1 for for a click, and now we get some estimates, but since I put the overall campaign budget to only €1, it won't give us any traffic, or aren't available for campaigns containing keywords with broad match. Oh yeah, right. So because we have the broad match modifiers, which are the plus, they won't show us any traffic, but it doesn't matter because he would give us something like 2 clicks or something. But this isn't important at all. So now we have the keywords, and people will see our ads if the search query matches one of these keywords. And as you can see already, people who search for men's footwear are way more likely to buy something than people who just see an ad on Facebook with some shoes in it, or maybe something where, maybe in picture where no shoes are there at all, because they may just think, oh, these look interesting, I would just want to learn a little bit more. They can have 1,000 reasons for clicking on this and never wanting to buy. But if someone types in casual shoes for men, or shoes in sale, or buy shoes, or cheap shoes, this usually means that this person wants to buy a pair of shoes, or is at least highly interested in getting one. And as you see, this kind of traffic, if you direct this kind of traffic to your store where you sell shoes, and you have to make sure that this is very relevant to your keywords and to your ads, so that people are actually so that your site is actually relevant to what they are searching for, then you should see quite decent conversions if anything else is in place. So your store itself, and the loading speed, and the relevance, and the price, and all the other things, of course. But if you have all these, if you don't do all these correctly, you should definitely see some good results. Now, if we continue to the ads now, like I said, we have these keywords, and these keywords will trigger this ad that we create now. And like I said, we can create multiple ads, but for now, just create this one very fast ad so that we are done with this for now, since this video is getting quite long already. By the way, I create this ad now. I also prepared some ad templates that work pretty well for me. You can find them somewhere here in the description, or maybe I put also a link in here. So just click on it and download it, and you have some quite converting Google AdWords ad templates. And now we just put in the final URL, and the final URL is the actual URL that the user will be directed to. So in this case, yourstore.com landing page. In this case, it could be the shoes section of your store or something. And this is now a very stupid example because I didn't prepare anything, but buy cheap shoes online. Selection of over or something like this. I'm actually right now, I don't feel like making up any good stuff, but you get the idea. You have a headline, and actually this doesn't make that much sense because this 1,000 pairs is something that we rather put in as a snippet later on in the ad. So don't mind about this now. On later videos I will go more in depth about the ad and about extensions like callouts and snippets, and it will be more fitting, but for now you just get the idea. And then we have the path, and this is what the customer sees. So this doesn't have anything to do with the URL that the customer gets directed to, like on Facebook where you have the display URL as well. And here we can just say categories shoes or something like that, or if we have a pure shoe store, then just one type of shoes or something like this. And now we have the description. Cheap shoes, hundreds different styles, free delivery within US. And we have 16 more letters to go, so of course we should use them, but like I said, this is not for showing you the ad. The focus of this video was on the keyword side. So yeah, this is basically how the whole thing will look like. You create all the keyword list that I made in the last step, then you create an ad for this, and now all the people that type in something that fits to this ad group will get shown this ad. And now that we create the ad, you can see it here already. Again, your store.com category is shoes. And now if we click save and finish, this will basically have only one ad. Yeah, of course, if you try 2 or more high quality ads to this group, it would be better since we can split test this. But this is how it looks like now. We have this campaign 1, and I also can change it to shoes. And now we have this ad group 1 that I can also change to men shoes. And here you can see all the metrics, and if we go to the ads tab, we can see the currently active ads, or the overall amount of ads that we have. And in this case, it's under reviews, so Google will review the ad because they don't allow certain things. And if I think like that, I will just pause it immediately. And then you will get noticed when they allow your ad. And here on the top navigation bar, you can see the active ad groups for this campaign. In this case, the shoe campaign. You have some more settings. You have ad extensions that I talked about in the 2 minutes ago, which is also very, very helpful to improve your CTR. And you can also put in negative keywords, which basically means keywords that that don't trigger your ads. So if we stick to the male and to the man footwear thing, a possible negative keyword, for example, could be women, because we don't want in the broad match someone to type in women's shoes and get a result for our ad, even though we say we have the biggest collection of men's shoes. So we would put in women as a negative keyword, at least for this campaign or for this ad group. We have this in at campaign level now, but for this campaign, because we don't want to show it for this specific ad, only for maybe the other ones. So yeah, this is basically how you can find buyers that are actually targeted to what you have to sell. And it's completely different to the way Facebook works, which obviously also is a super great way to attract customers. But if you have a specific product and you think that there is a very specific market that may be hard to reach through Facebook, you should definitely try out AdWords. Like I said, get my converting ad templates, and also make sure that you subscribe to this channel so that you won't miss the next videos about negative keywords, ad extensions, more keyword research, landing page optimization, and all these things. I hope that you try this out. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, post them in the comments like usual. I think you know the process right now. And good luck with your business. See you in the next video.